Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Remember, subscribe is the vibe. Your boy's on the road to 10K. Humbly. The like button is like the subscribe button is earned. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Bray Wyatt's greatest moments. Bray Wyatt, who recently passed away, unfortunately, at the age of 36. Kind of shocked the world. Now, granted, I grew out of watching wrestling. I don't watch wrestling as much as I used to. But I grew up during the Attitude Era. And if you knew about the Attitude Era, you knew about the GOATs. The Austins, the Rocks, the Undertakers, the Kanes, Triple H, the Shawn Michaels, even, later on down the road, the Jerichos, the Kurt Angles. I grew up loving wrestling. I ain't gonna hold you. So even though I kind of grew up out of watching WWE, one thing that never really leaves you is the passion and the love that you have for that sport and that business, because you grow up idolizing these guys. These guys are kind of like superheroes, role models. You want to imitate them. You want to be like them. Like, they inspire you to kind of be a little reckless, because I ain't gonna front. I was doing the Swanton Bomb a couple of times in my younger years. But nonetheless, after never really watching Bray Wyatt, like, I would notice his highlights in passing, and I've heard like a lot of people talk about his personas, his different characters, his wrestling, his storylines. This dude was a him in the WWE, and like I said in my previous videos, when I looked at the outpouring love that this dude got, it was kind of reminiscent of like Eddie Guerrero's passing away, where you just kind of felt like you lost someone that you knew, because this dude was like a fan favorite. He's obviously an icon, and he's probably going to be on his way to the WWE Hall of Fame in just a matter of time, because this dude left an impact. So on my channel, I react to sports and even athletes that I've never grew up watching. This is right on par with everything else that I've reacted to in the past. We're going to take a look back and go down memory lane as we appreciate Bray Wyatt's greatest WWE moments. Appreciate y'all. Hit the like and subscribe button.
On August 24th, 2023, it was announced to the world that Bray Wyatt had passed away at age 36. Wyatt, without question, was one of the most gifted, creative, and mesmerizing wrestlers to ever lace up a pair of boots, and he would be fondly missed. This video acts as a celebration of Wyatt's decorated career, as we here at WrestleMania look at the 10 greatest moments of Bray Wyatt's career. Number 10, Firefly Fun House. In 2020, WWE decided to revisit the program between Wyatt and John Cena. The two would then collide in a Firefly Fun House match at WrestleMania 36, and due to it being the first match of its kind, nobody knew what to expect. It's safe to say that fans were blown away with what WWE, Wyatt, and Cena were able to put together. The match began with Cena making his entrance at the Performance Center, and Cena was then teleported to the Firefly Fun House, where Cena was taken through a series of dream sequences that highlighted Cena's personality flaws. It was truly groundbreaking, and only a master such as Wyatt could have thought of such a compelling idea. The match explored Cena's debut, the idea of Cena turning heel, and Cena defeating Wyatt at WrestleMania 30. In several interviews following their cinematic masterpiece, Cena would go on to record to state how much he loved the match, and Cena has always had nothing but positive things to say about Wyatt, both as a wrestler and as a human being.
A lot of respect.
Number 9, the teased Babyface Turn. Following WrestleMania 32, WWE seemed to be teasing the concept of Bray Wyatt as a babyface. Whilst Wyatt has always had a strong connection with the audience,
like,
the
these
idea
were some
of Wyatt as a top
the
babyface
characters that I remember seeing, him with the brothers and the guys with the goat mask and all that. Like,
had yet to be explored. He would team with Roman Reigns on Raw against the League of Nations, and the finish of the match came when Wyatt performed a Sister Abigail on Alberto Del Rio, and as Reigns was spearing Sheamus, Wyatt would point at Reigns, and this was truly one of the coolest things ever seen on WWE TV. Number 8, NXT Goodbye. As Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family were getting set to say goodbye to NXT and move up to the main roster, Wyatt was permitted to give a goodbye promo. Following Wyatt's passing, the promo is a hard watch, as it has a ton of foreshadowing. In the promo, Wyatt tells the audience that if they ever need him, he isn't hard to find. All they have to do is look up at the sky and follow the buzzards. It was a truly beautiful climax to Wyatt's NXT run. Number 7, his main roster debut. Bray Wyatt, along with Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, received the nod to be called up to the main roster in 2013. To promote their arrival, WWE aired tremendous vignettes that gave fans a closer look at what the Wyatt family were all about. They were sinister, scary, and reminded fans of scenes from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The trio would eventually arrive on the main roster, attacking Kane in the process, and it was clear from Wyatt's main roster debut that the WWE had a true megastar on their hands.
Sheesh.
Number 6, Wyatt Family Turncoat. The Wyatt family had a fair number of additional members over the years, but for a brief period between 2013 to 14, Daniel Bryan was part of the faction. It wouldn't be too controversial to state that the saga between Wyatt and Bryan was the finest feud of Wyatt's WWE career, as the two men were born to face off in the ring. Their most memorable moment together was on Raw in early 2014 when Bryan decided to shed the skin of the Wyatt family and he turned on Wyatt in the cage match on Raw. This resulted in Bryan receiving one of the largest ovations in WWE history, and the moment worked so well mainly due to Wyatt's incredible selling. Number 5. Bray Wyatt captures the Universal title. Bray Wyatt was a multi-time world champion in WWE, yet it was his first Universal title win that saw Wyatt have a truly acclaimed run with the title. He would win the title in a Falls Count Anywhere match at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in 2019, and WWE gave Wyatt a ton of ammo to have a thrilling reign. The win itself was special as Wyatt won the title as the Fiend character.
His characters were very creative in a sense. It almost kind of gives you like the Undertaker in a sense, but more so like Heath Ledger and like the Joker. You know what I mean? Doesn't he give you that like very charming persona, but like at night he's like a maniac kind of? Like it's really dope.
It was a true game changer. The character was unique and genuinely chilling. Now that the ominous character had a world title in WWE, it was going to change the entire landscape of the company. WWE made the welcome decision to revisit the feud with Daniel Bryan and Wyatt, and Bryan would yet again embark in an all-time classic. The two would wrestle in a strap match at the 2020 Royal Rumble pay-per-view, and the match received widespread praise, and even classic wrestling fans were calling it a match from a bygone era. Number 4. The Undertaker endorses Bray Wyatt. One of Bray Wyatt's most decorated rivals was The Undertaker. The two collided at WrestleMania 31, and coming out the show, it was made clear that the dead man had a ton of respect for Wyatt and his talents. Fast forward to Raw in 2023, and Wyatt and The Undertaker had a wholesome interaction in the ring, where the dead man, who was portraying his American badass persona, whispered something into Wyatt's ear. This was a passing of the torch moment, and in an out-of-character interview with Sportsnet, The Undertaker delved into why the segment was so important and what he said to Wyatt. There's obviously a huge number of comparisons between his character and mine, and I think he's his own guy. He's his own character. I don't think it's fair to compare him to what he does to what I did. In the big scheme of things, it's kind of in the same supernatural. I don't know what genre, it's 2023, and he's doing his own thing, but I can appreciate it. I can see what he's trying to do, and I just let him know too. My phone's always on, and if he needs to talk about me about things or run things by me, that's cool. I'll be more than glad to share my experiences with him and hopefully shine some light on maybe questions that he has moving forward. So yeah, it was a cool moment, and it did exactly what I thought it would do. Wyatt never shied away from the fact that he adored The Undertaker, so naturally, sharing the ring with The Undertaker in this positive manner would have meant the world to him.
That's respect.
Number 3, Bray
That's
Wyatt.
Respect. When they start comparing you to the GOATs, you know what I mean? Or people start seeing the similarities, it's like, yo, that's respect, especially when your idol acknowledges you. Oh,
and
man.
you wouldn't join forces. SmackDown Live was on fire in 2016, and one of the reasons for the show's success and critical acclaim was the partnership between Wyatt and Randy Orton. Orton would join forces with Wyatt and Luke Harper to create a new version of the Wyatt family, and whilst on paper it seemed like an odd fit, it was ultimately some of the finest work of each of their respective careers. Orton was tremendous in the role, and Wyatt and Harper were clearly having the time of their lives working with the all-time great. All three incredible talents were motivated to make the storyline work, and it was one of the standout storylines of the SmackDown Live era. WWE would even crown Wyatt and Orton as the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, as the duo would win the titles at the TLC pay-per-view in late 2016. Orton was a constant presence in Wyatt's WWE career, and it didn't matter if they were on the same team or they were feuding, WWE fans collectively came together to see how their story was going to evolve. Number 2, Bray Wyatt wins the WWE title. The highlight of a wrestler's career is usually when they win a title, but when they win the top prize in a respective company, their sacrifice and hard work all comes full circle. At the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view in 2017, Wyatt reached the top of the WWE ladder as he pinned John Cena, then AJ Styles in the Chamber to win his first WWE title. It was a wholesome and satisfying moment that's now extremely hard to rewatch without getting emotional. The years of perseverance had paid off for Wyatt, and he was finally the top guy in WWE. And number 1, Bray Wyatt returns. In 2021, WWE decided to cut ties with Bray Wyatt, and this would be labeled as one of the worst decisions WWE had ever made. For over a year, fans campaigned for Wyatt to return to the company, and thankfully, Triple H finally made it happen at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view in 2022. Following Riddle's victory over Seth Rollins in the main event, the lights went out in the arena, and the White Rabbit mystery that had been presented on TV for the past few months was finally revealed. Wyatt's voice was then heard singing the verse, "He's got the whole world in his hands," as
wow.
real-life versions of the Firefly Fun House characters were summoned in the arena. References to Wyatt's prior run were present, and these included a burnt Fiend mask on the top of the announce table, referencing Wyatt being burned by Randy Orton back in 2020. A video on the Titantron would then begin to play, depicting an abandoned Firefly Funhouse set, but back in the arena, a door opened, showing a strange light. A mysterious masked figure then walked out, carrying Wyatt's lantern, and the figure would then reveal themselves as Bray Wyatt. Wyatt would declare, "I'm here," before triumphantly blowing out the lantern. This unbelievable reveal received one of the largest ovations of all time, and the moment quickly went viral, with fans new and old all discussing how epic Wyatt's return was. It was wonderful to have Wyatt back home in WWE, and fans were eagerly anticipating his next storyline.
Very dope top 10. And one thing I always like to give shout outs to is the WWE champ. Like that had to be a crowning achievement to win the WWE champion, because I ain't gonna front. That's what kind of solidifies you as a superstar. The WWE isn't in the business of just handing that out to just anybody. So when you've earned that belt, you know, granted, whether you feel like it's scripted or not, it is what it is. But when you've earned that belt, that's basically the WWE saying that you are a superstar. And you could see it all in his passing, like the impact that he's left on a lot of people. Like me, I'm paying homage because I grew up being a wrestling fan, even though I don't watch wrestling today. It's like I could always relate to it because I've been there. Like I ain't going front. When Eddie passed, that was kind of like my first steps out the door, because you kind of look at these guys and it's like, not only do their deaths shock you, but what's more shocking is the fact that they're capable of dying, and it just tugs on the emotions a little bit more than you would typically expect it. But this dude obviously was a wrestling great, and from the looks of it, he's gonna be missed. So this was Bray Wyatt's greatest moments, WWE. Appreciate y'all. I'm Gabos, and I'm holla at you guys in the next video. Mamba out. Rest in peace, Bray Wyatt.